we know that policing is a form of control for capital. It's not to keep us safe. It's purely to keep us in line for capital. And so what is happening? I was talking to John Kiriakou today. There's people in Seattle making over $70,000 a year, literally living in their cars. They can't get a place to live, but they're making $70,000 a year, and their credit's bad. So what have they done? They've created all these parking lots where people can sleep in their car to live, to work. This is the new norm they're trying to create. And it's all based on us believing, worthlessly, by the way, that the nation is broke. But Janet Yellen did something, didn't she? Janet Yellen let the cat out of the bag. Janet Yellen's like, shit, yeah, we can handle a couple wars. Well, why couldn't you handle getting rid of student debt, Janet? Why couldn't you handle Medicare for all, Janet? Damn it, Janet. Why couldn't you handle? Yeah. Why couldn't you? And
I don't know what that's
I know he doesn't know what it's from, and that's what's great. So guys, if you know, and I'm not going to tell you either. Damn it, Janet. Slut. Sorry.
No, it sounds familiar. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play a clip of the Secretary of the Treasury and apparently the President of the United States saying that, oh, yes, we can afford these things, but it's what we want, not what you want or need.
You'll get nothing.
And like it.
And America, can the West afford another war at this time?
I think the answer is absolutely. America can certainly afford to stand with Israel and to support Israel's military needs. And we also can and must support Ukraine in its struggle against Russia. And look, the American economy is doing extremely well.
Are the wars in Israel and Ukraine more than the United States can take on at the same time?
We're the United States of America, for God's sake. The most powerful nation in the history, not in the world, in the history of the world. The history of the world. We can take care of both of these and still maintain our overall international defense. We have the capacity to do this, and we have an obligation to. We are the essential nation, to paraphrase the former Secretary of State. And if we don't, who does?
Oh my God, he barely could utter those words. It was horrible.
This is so, like, it's just.
Come on, man. I didn't. Oh, come on.
I'm glad they're saying the quiet part out loud. Good. Please tell everybody how we can afford to be doing all of these things, because it really makes what we're doing a lot easier to sell when people are like, well, we can afford all of these things.
But nobody is learning the lesson. Nobody. I'm not joking. The minute that
you gotta give it a little time, like from now, this just happened yesterday where they actually said that little quiet part out loud.
I didn't say
I know, but I'm telling you right now.
You know the thing. I can only do it for so long, but it's such a, the funny thing is, Steve, if you're the most neutral political observer who doesn't really,
who is that? Who would that be?
I'm just using because we are in the echo chamber, because we really do follow this stuff, and it's a very small percentage of the population that really does. But to a neutral observer on the outside, they just observe the president for 5 minutes, and they're thinking to themselves, man, this guy definitely needs the hook. No, let's keep him in there for another 5 years. Like, that is, if that doesn't scream the system's broken, I don't know what does.
We're running a hospice in D.C. is what it seems like really to me. Scary, it's like an assisted living situation.
It is. It's not good.
Well, you can clearly see he doesn't have his faculties about him, okay?
No.
Which should tell you more than ever. And Trump didn't have it all going on either. He didn't understand everything either. And when you
but he didn't understand everything when he was in the 80s. So,
the point I'm making here is really super important. They're just puppets. They're not really doing the do. Beating up on Biden is like punching a piñata and thinking you did something. Bingo. Biden is a puppet. He is nothing. He's literally nothing. He is a guy that will go along to get along with the people that run the government. And when I say run the government, I mean, roll your eyes all you want, but there are people that literally work in government that have a career there, 40, 50-year careers that literally run the government, that run these think tanks.
You know what Carlin says. They're the owners. You got owners,
right.
and it's not the politicians. There's owners.
Well, I've been
That's
saying
right.
all along that Antony Blinken is the president. I mean, he's the first guy that went and met with Netanyahu. I mean, that's not the president, not the vice president. The Secretary of State was the first person who met with the prime minister of Israel, who's about to potentially start World War III. That's the first person who goes and speaks to him. To me, that's the president of the United States.
Where's that image of
That is the
Joe
person who
hugging
makes that
Netanyahu?
call.
Because I got to tell you, that won't age well. Okay,
No.
This whole thing is not going to age well. The people that are with that, you were on the wrong side of history. I assure you, you are on the wrong side of it. You're the lady screaming behind the black girl trying to go to college. You know that picture? You're that lady.
But the question is, Steve, is anybody, and I mean anybody, going to pay a political price for this? Because there is going to be so much blood that is going to be spilled in the not too distant future. It's already happening. And the way that they're trying to, say, well, we didn't bomb a hospital or it was bombing up, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Zionist movement now feels they have their opportunity, their opening, if you will, to commit a genocide and get away with it.
They've been getting away with it.
Not like this.
No, this is expedient. This is no. This is expedient. But if you were to consolidate the past 75 years, really the number, the body count this is pretty par for the course. This is just within a very small time frame. Thoughts?
What do you think a political price would be for a puppet? I mean, seriously, like I said he was a puppet. What do you think a political price?
How much could you buy a puppet for?
I mean it literally, though.
Yeah, no. Well, for the president, I mean, I can tell you, like a congressional seat, you costs that, like, I don't know how much would it cost, because you could buy a congressperson for a couple $1 million. You easily.
In some cases less.
Yeah, in some cases less. But so for a couple $1 million, you could buy a congressperson, potentially a senator. I don't know. How much would a president cost?
Well,
but the real issue is that person, as you said, is not the person with power anyway. You could pay somebody to sit there. But even if they go in there and they say, like, Trump, I'm going to stop this war in Syria, and then the deep state taps on his shoulder and says, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. So it's like, even if you put someone there that, even if you pay top dollar and get yourself a really fine president, what are they going to do?
And that's the whole irony of this whole circumstance.
You know what happens if you say no to deep state?
Well, in this case, you haven't. Like I said, I was at RFK's launch a couple of weeks ago.
Kennedied.
And so by that degree, you would think that the energy in that room, the amount of people that were there, even if you believe that a lot of his stuff is quirky, and it certainly is, he has an opportunity to really create a completely different political landscape in this country. And yet he's more hawkish in favor of Israel than Trump or Biden is.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.